Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Vanessa and you are watching the Exploring Oracle, or the Exploracle for short. Today we'll be taking a look at the Wild Unknown Tarot by Kim Krantz. So this is a widely popular deck when it first came out. I only just recently got it because I was really intrigued by the art style. So it says here, may you always be on the inner quest. And you have the guidebook. And it says here on the table of contents, so drawing the tarot, so I guess it's the inspiration and her art for this particular deck. And then understanding the deck, it tells you a little bit about the major and minor arcana, how to read the cards, so some basic information here, shuffling, cutting, spreads. And then it goes into the actual meanings of the cards. So it is quite a big book, about 207 pages, but there is a lot of white space in between. So we have a picture of the card as well as the meanings on the right side. Okay, so we'll later on, after we shuffle the cards, we will be picking a card to read, and I'll be reading an excerpt, or at least I'll be reading from this book. So just to show you what's inside the book here, for each card you have some keywords and then the meanings here. Okay, so it's black and white, not full color. Okay, so inside the box you have the infinity symbol there, and you have another box that houses the actual cards. So there is a ribbon, but okay, so there is a ribbon here to lift the deck. These are the backs, and they are fully reversible. Now the cardstock on this is one of my favorites. It is thin but very sturdy. It feels like it will last for a long time. It's very flexible. And yeah, I love shuffling this deck. And I know that cardstock is a matter of preference. Some people prefer thicker cardstock, but me, since I refill shuffle, this cardstock works really well for me. Okay, so I'll just set up for the flip through and we can take a closer look at all of the cards. Alright, so this deck has been out for a while, and I'm sure that you've seen a flip through or two of this particular deck. Similar to the Lightseers Tarot, I know that there are so many videos of the flip throughs of these decks, but I still do it primarily for myself so that I can bond better with my decks. So what I usually do is I do record flip throughs of the deck, and then I rewatch it, and you know, because I think, I don't know, there's a different perspective when you see the cards on video rather than personally. I struggle to explain that, if that even makes sense, but it helps me connect to the cards better. Now, at least for this one, particularly for the Wild Unknown, I have been using it for a while. I've had it for a few months now. It's one of the first few decks that I got into my collection. I've only been doing tarot for several months. And people say that this is an advanced deck because there are no people in this deck. It isn't RWS based, it's animal and nature based. And yeah, but for me, you know, since my way of learning the meanings of the cards is also to get to know the meanings, memorizing the meanings, and using the guidebook, I have no issues with reading this deck. And I'm just particularly drawn to the art style, the line art. I'm really drawn to it. I like it. I am very, very much an admirer of Kim Krantz's artwork, which is why I also have her other decks, the Animal Spirit, Oracle, and the Archetypes deck, the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck. It is also a bit of a pip deck, but I don't mind because yeah, the meanings of the cards remain the same. And sometimes I do prefer, or I do like using these types of decks which don't really show people or the sceneries of the RWS for more neutral readings. Now, a little thing about myself, I only learned tarot for a few months. I have started learning tarot. I've been into tarot for just a few months, less than a year as of now. And I don't read for others except for just family, friends, mostly for myself, because I did intend it as a tool to get to know myself better, you know, to deepen my spirituality. So it's a very personal thing, and yeah, for me, this deck is what I need sometimes. So there is a limited use of color in the deck, mostly black and white, but there are pops of color in some of the cards. And they've also renamed the quartz daughter, son, mother, and father. Now, since I haven't been in tarot long, I do watch a lot of tarot tubers, and they did mention that when this first came out, it really did kind of revolutionize how decks could be, you know, because previously it was really mostly RWS, but this is one of the decks that illustrated a different way and inspired a lot of others to I guess move away from the traditional RWS imagery. At least that's what I hear from TarotTube. But yeah, I definitely am glad that I have this particular deck in my collection. I'm sorry if you can hear some background noise, it's my neighbors. I don't know if it's being picked up by the mic. So I zoomed out a bit so that I can show you how this deck shuffles, and then we will choose a card and read from the guidebook together, so we just have an idea of how the guidebook reads as well. So as expected, this deck shuffles beautifully. Please don't judge it by the way I shuffle, because I do shuffle clumsily at times. But yeah, the cardstock is perfect for your full shuffling, which means it's perfect for speed. It bridges beautifully. You can also do overhand side shuffling. It's not too slippery. It feels like it's a plastic cardstock, but not as slippery. Let's choose a card. Okay, let's just choose this card to read. And it is the Eight of Wands. Okay, so we will be reading for the Eight of Wands. So the keywords are sudden movement or change. The Eight of Wands strikes like lightning. It's a card of news, change, or clarity in an unresolved situation. You might hear from an old friend out of the blue or receive some surprising news that shifts the direction of your course. This card sometimes means literal movement is on the horizon, so be ready to travel if the opportunity arises. So that is what is in the guidebook for the Eight of Wands. Again, this deck has been around for a few years now. It is one of the more popular mass market decks, and I can see why. We leave it at the Fool over here. And yeah, if you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. I would really appreciate it. I post videos at least once a week, and I will see you again next time. Bye!